Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, November 13th, 2023. This is number 64 in our series of Nerds on Culture. And I want to say welcome all nerds, man. That's what's up. As tonight's show, we will be remembering Berry Gordy's The Last Dragon from 1985, a film that resonates in pop culture, especially for the Black community. And we will talk about this film and have fond memories of what it did for us cinematically as an experience upon first viewing. Those who have watched it numerous times over and over. And I think there was someone recently that mentioned that they said they watch it at least a couple times a week. I think that might have been my brother Trap House Boxing who shared that with me. So with that being said, man, we're gonna talk about this film a little bit and dive into the legend that this film has become, man. It was a great cinematic experience, starring Timac and Vanity in the lead roles of this film. And it was just an awesome experience at the movie theater. If you had a chance to see it there during its first run, it's now out on video. You could get it on DVD. You could get it on Blu-ray. It's available, and I do believe it's out there on some of the other sites like either Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. You can catch it. It's out there. That Soul app that's out there, you could catch it on that or something. But it was a great time, this film. And with no further ado, allow me to introduce my co-host of the show this evening. We got Drew Titan in the building. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Suki Yuki Yak Sak Su. You sock it to me. I sock
it to you. With your bad self. Yeah, man.
Oh man. This right here is what you call a cult classic. There's a lot of things. Now, let's say, the kids that are born in 2010, 2000, 2000, anywhere in 2000s, there's a part of pop culture in this movie. They might be recited. There's things that's lingo now. They don't even know why they say certain things, but they come from these movies that we talk about. One of them,
right,
is The Last Dragon. Do you think a kid that was born in 2008 will know what someone in our age group would say? Man, kiss my Converse. They'll be like, what?
Yeah, man.
You wear Converse? No, they don't get it. They don't get it, man. This right here, it set the tone. It was over the top. It was corny, but it touched all of the major points that you wanted in the film. It had action, and it had a love interest. It had one-liners, and you appreciated what this movie was. You appreciated what it was for what it was for.
And it had, not taken away from anything else, Kung Fu. Yeah. It had Kung Fu, man. It was still in the, I would call it the second phase of Kung Fu films, because in 1985 there was a resurgence and a renewed interest in martial art films. That's why the low budget American films started, cashing in, so to speak. You had Chuck Norris films that were taking off, Michael Dudikoff and Steve James with the American Ninja films and stuff like that, American Samurai, where Mark Dacascos played a good Japanese villain in that film. Just a lot of action fare. Don the Dragon Wilson started making his films. Jean-Claude Van Damme burst on the scene. Bloodsport and stuff like that.
This was right on time. This was right on time.
It was right there, man. And there was so much to be said. So salute to all the fam in the chat. We see you guys out there. Don't think that we're ignoring you if we don't call your names. It's just that we're going to get through this material. We're going to go through it like a hot knife in butter, because there's some things to be said about this film. We want you guys to enjoy, reminisce. I'm sure some of you will write some stuff in the chat, and we'll bring those talking points in when it's pertinent to everything we're presenting. Like what's that? A Hill Vibe says the soundtrack was lit. Yeah, it was. Yeah. The soundtrack was awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of you guys can remember DeBarge. Was on that soundtrack feature. Vanity was featured on the soundtrack. There was a whole lot going on back in there, and this was kind of like that stage, Drew and chat, that we were looking for things cinematically, and so the Last Dragon is one of those films that was kind of like able to throw a lot of stuff in the mix, to draw everybody in. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, the timing of this movie, it was perfect. To me, it was well written. I don't know, because this movie's old. I don't know how well it did at the box office, but this was for us, our community. And it wasn't reduced to B-movie. It wasn't. This was a major thing. And it was a major thing because I just pulled up the soundtrack. Vanity was hot back then. DeBarge, Smokey Robinson was on the soundtrack. The Temptations, Rockwell. Remember Rockwell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stevie Wonder. I mean, Dwight David. The soundtrack was serious. You can tell how well a movie is by its soundtrack. And this was really, and again, Berry Gordy. Berry Gordy was the P. Diddy of that era in more ways than one. Y'all just do the math on that. But we heard some things, but whatever.
On the real.
Yeah, but he that was a shot. But he was able to get his resources together, the musical resources together. I don't know what the budget is. Put together a budget. They got Timok, who he played this role like you couldn't believe. They paid serious homage to Bruce Lee. And I don't know what the agreement was between Berry Gordy and the Lee estate. I'm sure that they contributed to the estate in some way, shape, or form. But like I said, this thing hit all the angles. It was right on time as far as, you know, it captured because this came out right in the middle of the ninja craze. Sho Kozuki was over here doing films. Chuck Norris was still alive. He was right there. This film had action, a love story, and it had a lot of comedy in it. And the climax at the end, there's my guy right there, the Shogun of Harlem. Now I'm sure you picked this up. Two things you notice. You notice back then, the gangs was very diverse. Male, female, white, black, Hispanic, very diverse. That's number one. Number two, you notice he was the Shogun of Harlem, aka a Japanese character versus Bruce Leroy, who was a Chinese character.
Right. Exactly.
That was brilliant, man. And his hairstyle, he did the hairstyle of a samurai. I mean, this was brilliant. This was well done. It was comical, but then the climax. Do you remember the fight scenes at the end? Oh my God, I went ballistic in the theater when I saw that. That was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I want to say salute to T. Berry out there with the super chat, man. We appreciate you. He says, just some support, fellas. Love the work. Hey, man, and we love presenting it to you, man. This is what it's all about.
Salute.
This is the one place. Hey, a quick little sidebar story. Earlier today, I had a service guy come out to do my fall clean and check on my furnace for my home. And you know, making sure everything's all set for the winter and everything. And I was looking over my phone, and while he was doing his thing, I'm standing there not far from him, and I started laughing because I saw these videos coming up, and they were talking about the new Captain Marvel film, how it's already been declared a flop and everything. And someone had posted a meme with a picture of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel with this sad face saying, "You mean we can't blame the men?" You know, so
that's funny.
So I was laughing, right? And he asked me, he said, "Hey man, what's so funny?" And I told him, right? And he started laughing because he was like, "Man, that's good, that's great." He was like, I'm so glad it's flopping. He's like, I can't stand what they've been doing. So I say, "Oh, so you like me, you a nerd, right? You like this stuff?" He's like, "Man, I love the MCU stuff, man, but I don't like what they've been doing lately," right? So we began to have a conversation about the stuff. And guess what we ended up talking about? We both agreed that we were pissed off in Endgame when the Hulk didn't get his get back.
Oh, man.
You know, against Thanos. And then the guy was like, "Yeah, but they had time to do that sister power movement in the film when they showed, they made sure they showed all those female characters come together for that one shot and everything." I was like, they was able to do that, right? He was like, "Yeah, man, what was up with that?" We just had a great conversation, man. Another nerd, man.
You never know who's out there.
Exactly. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know there's nothing wrong with liking this fair. This is what keeps us going. It keeps us away from the day in and day out monotony of our regular lives where we got to go to work, we got to pay our bills, we got to do. Sometimes we could just kick back and enjoy some of this source material, man. And it's great when you can share it with others like we do with you guys. So that's what this is all about. And I just wanted to share that quick story with you guys, man. It was awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. I pulled up the cast from Last Dragon. Ernie Reyes Jr., who was the little kid.
Yes.
Of course, he's all grown up now. Y'all might remember him. He was in what's that movie? He was in Mutant Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Ooze. He was also in what's the movie with the Rock? Damn, he's 51 years old now. Sheesh. He was in that movie.
Man. Ain't that
The Rundown. And yeah, he was a real martial artist, man. You know, but that was awesome, man. That was awesome, man. Yeah, yeah.
And the one thing that like I get a little perturbed about is like I would love to show clips from the movie and everything, but it seems like when we've done stuff like that, YouTube couldn't wait to shut us down, you know, from that kind of stuff or demonetize our show or stuff like that. So what I've done is I just compiled a few stills, you
Right.
know, from the movie that I'll share, and I don't even have a lot of those. It's just that I wanted to be able to show something while we're talking about it. And here we've got a great shot with Timac and Vanity, who they became the central characters of the story. And to be perfectly honest, for two people who weren't actors and actresses in the in the industry, but they were kind of cutting their teeth, they were entertaining, and she played a video queen or something. What was it? Wasn't that Drew? What they?
She was a
She hosted a video show or whatever.
Video show. You remember the video shows from back then, like a Soul Train type thing. And she was very popular.
She was all famous in the neighborhood and stuff. And the young man that played Bruce Leroy's brother, he was infatuated with her. He was like, "That's my woman," That little short brother was pretty cool, man. I heard that he had passed away.
Yeah,
he was really good in this show, man. He was really good in this movie.
And I'm gonna tell you, it was the '80s. You remember when they tied him up? Remember how he got out?
Yeah, he was doing the break dance,
locking,
pop locking.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and we went crazy in the theater when he got he started popping and locking. We was like, oh, because you know what it is? That's our culture, man. And
but check this out. Don't you remember Chinese Super Ninjas? When that one female ninja, she captured the one dude, right? Because she liked him. And they had tied him up. And he had remembered the teacher's old method of teaching him how to break out of the bonds. And so he was doing it his way. And then when you saw this film, you saw old boy doing it his way with the pop locking and everything. Dude, that was cold. That was so creative when he did that.
That was so cold. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm looking at this picture right here. You see this outfit that Bruce Leroy had?
Yeah.
I swear to God, in junior high school, there was some older cats in there that went out and bought the navy blue one and the black one. They came to school like that.
Yeah, man. I told you, I had one too, bro. I had one too when I thought I was, running around, from the Black Chinese connection,
Wait a minute. My brother had a Game of Death outfit, the yellow tracksuit.
Yeah.
Oh, he had one. He had one.
Bruce Leroy was wearing one in the movie when Shogun came to his dojo, remember?
Yeah, he sure did.
He had one on, the Bruce Lee tracksuit.
My brother ordered the Bruce Lee yellow. They had it on sale in Black Belt magazine. I'm sure you remember that. And they had the tracksuit on sale, and they also had the replica of the nunchucks that Bruce Lee used in Enter the Dragon. They had it with the string or with the chain, and it was hard, heavy rubber. And my brother ordered the chain with the heavy rubber. He still has them today. He has it.
Yeah, man.
Awesome stuff.
When I saw this film, I had later, after I saw the film, had done some reading up on Timac, and I found out that his Sifu was Ron Van Cleef, the Black Dragon, who was also an action consultant on this film for some of the choreography and stuff. So look at that, man. You see what I'm saying? It's like that history, that enrichment. We talk about these things, the connections. You know what I mean? The Black Dragon, bro, was his Sifu in real life.
That's crazy. You know what's crazy? I thought he just knew karate. It was kung fu. He specialized in.
Yeah, he trained under Ron Van Cleef.
Oh man. Well, Ron Van Cleef, man. For those of you, hey, I see Tay Tay in the chat. Ron Van Cleef, at his, I don't know how old he was, he said, "Let me see what this jujitsu is about." And he jumped in the octagon and fought Hoist Gracie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him, but you know, he got in there. Ron Van Cleef, wow. And there
I
go that
couldn't resist this shot right here, because this is a great scene in the movie where Bruce Leroy went to see a screening of Enter the Dragon, which was not unlike at one of the movie houses, I'm sure, in New York that showed these films at the time, or here in Chicago where we saw these films. But what was so funny and just amusing was that he was eating his popcorn with chopsticks.
Chopsticks, man, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. He was, you know what it was? Bruce Leroy, his character was a super fan, but
right.
It assisted him, and that's what makes the character so special. It assisted him in walking in the path of righteousness amongst the community, and he was setting an example, a positive example. His students respected him, but his Sifu thought he was a little extreme.
Right.
But he knew he had a good heart. That's what made the what people forget about these movies is that you have to develop a relationship with the main character. That is very important. And when you first saw Bruce Leroy, you're like, man, look, this guy has a golden heart, man. So you actually felt. You remember when Show Enough, where his goons came up and wrecked his dad's pizza shop?
Yeah.
And then he came in and his little brother went off on him. He's like, yo, man, you supposed to protect us. And his mother was like, you know, that's all right. We understand. And he was crying.
Right.
You know, I felt that. I'm like, man, they really dug into him. But everyone was like, yo, man, you Bruce Leroy. There's a time for being peaceful. And there comes a time when you got to just kick some ass, man.
Right.
You know? You know, you can't be Jesus all the time. You can't turn the other cheek for you to kick the other one.
When he was in there watching the movie, and Show Enough and his crew came into the theater, and they was like, yo, get out my seats, you know. And Show Enough and his gang were like making people move and stuff. And he was like talking crap to Bruce Leroy. And some dude said, why don't you sit down and shut up? He was like, why don't I what? And dude was like, why don't you sit down and shut up? And he was like, well, why don't you come down here and make me? And then the dude got up to come down there, and then some more people started getting up, and he was like, well, why don't all of you come down here? And then they started brawling in the theater.
Man,
that was hilarious, bro.
That was funny as hell, man. Shogun the Hawk.
Bruce Leroy, amidst all the chaos, he just got up and started walking out the theater. But he was walking across the chairs in the theater while these guys were brawling. They were all up on the stage and stuff where the screen was. Man, it was crazy, man. But you know what? Tell me, when you were watching that, could you not see that happening in your own movie theater in your city?
Man, back in the day, before we had a multiplex around here, we had one little theater around my way. And something happened in there one day. I forgot what movie. It was so crazy because the fight that happened, it wasn't even that type of movie. It was like some group of guys in there that had beef with each other. It was like 3 guys versus like 4 or 5 guys, and they started rumbling or whatever. And me and my friends had snuck in anyway. We was like, oh, let's get the hell out of here. But yeah, I could talk to answer your question. Yes, I can totally totally. It was normalized. I'll just say that because if you didn't witness something like that, you heard about it. Yo, we was at a movie theater and a fight broke out. You remember that scene from Cooley High?
Yeah.
Disciples.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a relatable moment. If you was from any city, USA, in a city, that was a lot of relatable moments, man. That's what I'm saying. This movie, it hit home. There's certain parts in this film that hit home, and like I said, it was for the community. It was for the Black community, man. Absolutely, man. That was crazy. Oh, look what Night Train said. Look what Night Train said.
Hold on, give me a second to pull it up on the screen.
And salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Salute to everyone in the chat.
He said, Stormy, 1977, Green Plaza, the Warriors, Evergreen Plaza, excuse me, the Warriors movie was new. Had to run out afterwards. Yeah, wow. Man, that kind of kicked off some gangs and stuff in the city, man, when the Warriors came.
Stormy, we need to review that movie.
Oh, of course.
Because that was done in my city, and there's a lot of bullet points I want to touch on in that film, because where they had the meeting was up by where I live right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we was like, God damn it, that park don't exist. But we get it, man. The Bronx was messed up back then, so we get it, man. We understand. And the blocks, so a lot of the gangs that are named after streets, like the Turnbull ACs, that's Turnbull Avenue off of Castle Hill. I know where that is exactly, the Turnbull ACs. But man, listen, man, we gotta definitely do the Warriors when you're ready to do it. Definitely, because that right there, that is along the lines. That's just as much of a cult classic as this.
Exactly. In fact, it was first.
Yes.
Warriors came out before this.
Mm-hmm.
How about this character here, man? Eddie Arcadian, man.
A young Bob Arum.
Hey, what did he tell that dude? When the dude was like, he wanted to be a contender or something, he was like, "You lost."
Oh man, dude. He played that role, man. This guy, what was this guy's name? This guy's name was Christopher Murney. Christopher Murney. He played this role, man. Man, he's still around. He's 80 years old. He's still around. Good for him, man. Good for him. He played this role. He was a psychotic. He wanted to be a music producer or whatever he was, and he had a talent there. He was trying to push this woman along, and that was his purpose. He was trying to kidnap Vanity's character and say, "Look, man, give my girl here some airplay." And she was like, "No." I mean, he was trying to be a thorn. He was trying to be a thorn at her side, kidnap her and everything else. And that's how Bruce Leroy got involved, man. But this, if you haven't seen it, first of all, if you haven't seen this movie, that's a sin. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, this came out, what year this came out? Stormy, 85, right?
85, yeah.
Man, I gotta tell you, 85, if y'all look up what's going on in 85, everything was happening in 1985. It's 5 years after the 70s, 5 years before the 90s. 85, Michael Jackson was popping, Prince was popping. I mean, there was a whole thing going on with that. What was that? Where Prince and Morris Day from? They're from Minneapolis. They're from Minneapolis, right? That whole sound, sound in the 80s that came out from there, that came from there. Michael Jackson had his own thing going, and Prince was coming on strong, and rap music, the hip hop culture was catching on with the break dancing, and rap was getting airplay on terrestrial radio. A lot of the foundation of Black culture was really starting to make its way into pop culture, because this was when Hollywood started to recognize what we were creating and accepting it. You understand? And it was very, very. This movie is so pivotal. It is so pivotal, man. Like I said, I gotta rewatch this again, man. I must have seen this a million times. I'm gonna watch it again. But this movie was so pivotal for the culture. When I tell you, when you talk about the timing of a film, it don't get any better than this. And the fact that I was about to say a fact that there was no sequel was a crime, but you know what? I'm good with it because sometimes sequels can mess up a brand. So
this film, it was released March 22nd, 85. And it was produced by Motown and Delphi Third Productions, and it was distributed by TriStar Pictures. But it was made with a budget of $10 million, and it brought in $33 million.
Ooh!
And you know, it was just like you said, it hit all the keys, man. It hit all the keys.
And this really did help the Barge. They played the video in the movie.
Yeah.
The Barge, one of the most gangster families you could ever know and not know. My God, those dudes was gangsters. Don't believe that pretty hair and that singing stuff.
I know, man.
Yeah, those guys was gangster as hell. Drugs and guns and everything. Even Chico was in prison. Crazy.
Yeah, it was something else during that time, bro. It was something else. And back then, like, your looks didn't necessarily add up to who you really were. These days, when you see somebody with a certain look, you can pretty much define who they are. But back in them times, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can see a dude like, you know, and remember when Michael Jackson did the Bad album, right? And he was talking about having Prince be on there with him. And Prince was gonna get the role that eventually went to Wesley Snipes in the video.
Yeah.
And Prince had given a story about that. He was like, first of all, you know, the opening line for his song, "Your Butt Is Mine," he was like, Prince was like, I don't know what that was supposed to mean, because was my butt gonna be his or his mine? He was like, but I definitely wasn't gonna be his. That's what Prince said. Prince was a trip, man. It's like, you know, people were fooled by that brother as well, because Prince had a little gangster in him as well. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I did you hear the Michael Jackson story where he was with I think he was with Pharrell working on something.
Mm-hmm.
He was with Pharrell, and Pharrell told the story. He's like, man, don't believe all that light, soft-spoken thing that Michael used to do. Because he said, I was sitting down waiting with him for something, and there was some people there, and they finally got him out so we can get to work. And Mike said, man, I thought those niggas would never leave. His voice was different. He looked at him like, what the fuck? He said he looked around because he thought someone else was sitting in the room with them. I thought those niggas would never leave. He said that came from Mike. He said Mike's voice ain't like that. I was like, oh snap. That was funny as hell. I think it was Pharrell. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought them niggas would never leave.
Yeah,
there they go.
Out, man. There's the boys right there, man. They had that little dance number they was singing, man. I love those guys, man. When old boy came up, he's like, I'm looking for the master. He was like, is this some young boy? And dude was like, look here, Cool Breeze, you gotta get out of here. They was talking to him all hip and jive, and he was like, I am looking for the master. And that other guy said, wait, I'll talk to him. He took Bruce Leroy hat off his head and put it on his, that little samurai hat. He said, look, you haul ass very fast.
Very fast.
No master here. Chop, chop.
Oh, that was funny.
Man, I was cracking up on it.
You how us. Chop chop.
Oh man. Salute to Champion Hart out there with the super chat. He says, catching bullets with his teeth. Nigga, please. He said, I got something real for your ass in these hands. One of the best movie lines.
Man.
Yes, sir, man.
Yo,
Yes,
listen,
sir.
how about no kids? When you walk around with that kid, man, I remember I was playing ball and I hit like 8 in a row. And they was like, yo, you can't miss, OG. I'm like, man, I got that glow. And I was like, when you got that glow? They was like, what? I was like, yo, man, y'all little motherfuckers never saw Last Dragon? They was like, what's that? I said, oh. Missed every shot after that.
Yeah, also salute to Akil Vibes out there. He says, what's up, Sensei Stormy and my big bro Drew? I think about this movie often. Definitely one of my favorites, a true classic.
Salute, salute, absolutely. Salute. Some dumb goy was a computer, but if you look at the name, it's a play off of a word. Some dumb guy. Say, look, it's a computer. Some dumb goy. He said, I got something real for you in these hands.
Yeah, man. There were so many lines in this film.
I would like to see her. I would like to see her. Remember that?
Oh man. Oh man, this movie's classic, man. If you have not seen this, man, and you know, if you got kids, it's family friendly also. It's nothing crazy. There's no foul language in it. You know what I'm saying? This is a great film. Man, this is if you have kids that are like curious about what the 80s was like, this was it. This hit every trope in the 80s that you could think of. My gosh, this was crazy, man. I mean, oh man, 85 was. Whoa, wait a minute. Didn't Thriller drop in 85?
Yeah.
Oh man, 85 was lit, man. 85 was lit. There you go. That's a t-shirt right there, right? You see what I'm saying? He said, oh yeah. He started glowing. He wanted all that smoke. When I say who's the master, you say show enough. Oh my gosh, man. When you got that glow.
And Julius Carey was such a good actor, man. It's a shame he passed away too, because he was excellent as Show Enough, though.
Yeah, he passed in 08. Yeah, but he played this role, man. Did anybody get did anybody get an award for this, other than a Soul Train award or something?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
They need to put this back in the theater on some anniversary stuff, man.
I agree.
This is a good film, man. This is a damn good film. I don't know why they haven't re-released it, man. This is a watch party, man. You put this back in select theaters. People could come to you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's true, General. There's no proof. He said, can you show me the moves? But we don't know if he even got the tail. Man, they need to put this back in the theater just on the anniversary. You know, cats could come dressed up like the characters, man. This is a sleeper, man.
Hey, General, he was too busy trying to rape what's her name on Different World.
Oh, you remember that? No, wait. He might have been doing that, or he may have been too busy being made to wait by Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Let's wait a while. Oh man.
Yeah, he left that video and went right over there to the set of A Different World. And he saw old girl, what's her name? Frankie, Charlie, well, I forget her
Was it
name.
Freddie? Was it Freddie? Was her name?
Freddie, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Freddie, let me holler at you.
Man. Man, that's crazy. But Timeout today, he looks pretty good, man. He stays in shape. He looks pretty damn good. He stays in shape.
Yeah, man. He did keep up his training and everything, but he's a perfect example of one of those guys who didn't want to go all in Hollywood, and I respect him for that. But
Right.
he still has kept himself pretty, you know, pretty on the outskirts. He does some fringe work, but he's not all bought in like some of those people.
Man, you know what I'm reading right now? There was almost a Last Dragon remake starring Pop Smoke as Sure Enough, directed by Eddie Huang. But, you know, unfortunately, Pop Smoke was murdered. And how he went out is just so annoying, man. So annoying. That kid was out the Bronx. And just sidebar, that's why you don't put all your stuff online. Because he put all this stuff online, how he living, and some regular old goons ran up in his house and caught him coming out the shower and murdered him. Ridiculous stuff, man. But if I remember, we played a game on Facebook where we were recasting characters for movies. And one of the things I recasted The Last Dragon, I said obviously Samuel L. Jackson would be dope as Sure Enough. I could imagine that. That'll be hilarious. And they was like, well, who will play Bruce Leroy? And I had picked, at the time, this was going back in 2014, I had picked Chris Brown to play Bruce Leroy. You can pull it off. He's athletic. You know what I'm saying? You know, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, salute to Champion Hart back in that super chat. He says, they can't do that, Drew. It's so much culture appreciation in this movie. Back then, it's funny how now everybody is too sensitive. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, it's true. That's a true story, yeah.
Appreciate the super chat, Champion Hart.
What up? Yeah, I mean, man, a lot of the movies that we looked at back then, they would have to change now because, you know, everybody's so sensitive to this whole culture. It's annoying. A black man walking around like Bruce Lee, a black man running around to call himself the Shogun of Harlem. I mean, I can just hear the Asians now. I'm offended. Nigga, you Korean. You ain't got nothing to do with none of this.
Right?
Mad at. Yeah, but yeah, I know you could. I wouldn't want them to remake this anyway. And like I said, sometimes sequels are sequels aren't. Not everything needs a sequel. This was good where it is.
Right. And you know what? It's like, just like Enter the Dragon doesn't need to be remade, but it was prominent in this film, and Bruce Lee was definitely heavily influential over Bruce Leroy, the lead character of the film. And something like that, it was done in total respect. You know what I mean? And I think that the film itself, The Last Dragon, it really speaks to a particular point in our culture. Like I said, so many keys got hit in that. Because remember, that's Vanity playing Laura. What was it, Laura Charles? I think somebody wrote in it. Earlier.
Yeah.
Her character being a video queen host. You know, that whole scenario. That's when the video age was kicking off in
Yeah.
85 and stuff like that. Remember Donnie Simpson on Video Soul on BET and
Yes.
stuff like that, you know.
Oh man, you bringing back memories, man. You bringing back memories. Even because back then I was heavy. I mean, I was in the R&B and everything, but I was heavy into hip hop because it was still kind of underground, but it was kind of like just now going into mainstream. You gotta remember the first. Watch this. Let me ask the chat a question. Who were the first $1 million rappers? Who was the first $1 million rappers? Put it in the chat. Let me see if y'all know y'all hip hop. Let me see. Because when these brothers broke ground, and I'm giving y'all a hint because it was more than one. When they broke ground, they opened up the floodgates for a lot of things to happen, and their success proved that yes, Teach, Run DMC, those were the first $1 million rappers, and their success made way for things like The Last Dragon. Because you know what else came out around that time? A movie called Crush Groove. So he guessed, oh, okay, well, it was Run DMC. It was Run DMC. They were the first $1 million rappers. Now, the Furious 5 and Grandmaster Flash, those are the first rappers to get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I believe. But what I'm saying is they opened up the floodgates because now Hollywood started to see and say, you know what, there's money in what these guys, this little thing from the Bronx that started, there's money in what these guys are doing. So let's start seeing what's going on, you know? And I'm not sure when Crush Groove came out. Damn, wait, you know, this ain't nothing that a little Google search. Because all of this was around the same time frame. Let me see. So this came out in 80. It came out the same year, Stormy. In 85. Yep, October of 1985. When did Last Dragon come out?
Last Dragon was 85, March of 85.
Okay, so Last Dragon came out first. Crush Groove was already in production. It came out later on that year. Run DMC, My Adidas and all this other stuff, they opened up the floodgates and they made the culture cool. And this is all a part of the culture, hip hop and R&B. This right here, yo, wait, do you remember when he grabbed his hand? Do you remember what Showed Up said to him? Do you?
What he said?
He said, "Nigga, let me go." I said, "What the fuck? What?" He said, "Let me go, nigga." Let me go. Yo.
Oh man.
Oh my God. That was funny, man. He was like, what the? Nigga, go, nigga. Yo, that was funny as hell, man. He played that role. Yeah.
Hey, I pulled up this page, man. It says top 22 quotes from the Last Dragon. Because you know there was some funny quotes in this movie. Number 22 is Eddie Arcadian saying, "A 45 will put an end to all this kung fu crap. All it takes is one little bullet. So take your final bow, scum sucker."
Yo, you know, and you know what the playoff for that is? See, Stormy, only you will know this. The beginning of Enter the Dragon, when Bruce tells him, guns, why not we just go in there with 45 and bang, settle it?
Right.
He was like, no guns. He was like, ah. But you see, that would make the character was practical. He said, why you gotta go in there and kung fu everybody? Let's just go in there with a gun and run it.
Right.
45 will put it end all this kung fu stuff.
Yep.
Oh man, that's what I got.
And I think that they did do that because of what Bruce Lee said in Enter the Dragon. I'm almost certain.
I believe so.
Remember, Enter the Dragon was featured heavily in this film.
Yep.
I want to also go to number 21 with Richie Green. which is Daddy Green's pizza, you know, he says, I'm gonna slap that sucker silly with a suit for alienation of affection. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't know who she was. Chocolate covered yellow peril. That sucker better start sleeping with one of his inscrutable eyes open, because when I get a chance, it's gonna be a serious case of chopsocky justice coming his way.
Yo, who the fuck wrote that? Yo, who wrote that?
That was his brother, you know, when he was talking stuff.
Yo,
Now,
who wrote that? That is funny as hell.
Now, number 20 is Show Enough. He says, keep your money. You just get that sucker to the designated place at the designated time, and I would gladly designate his ass for dismemberment.
Yo.
I'm telling you, the lines in this movie was crazy. That's why I pulled this up, man. And this is number 19 from Angela. She says, and in the end, Eddie, you know what? You're nothing but a misguided midget asshole with dreams of ruling the world. Yeah, also from Kew Gardens, and also getting by on my tits.
Yo. Oh, man.
That's when this girl turned on him, man. Some of these lines are hilarious, bro. Here's another one from Richie. He says, sure enough happened. That's what. And it's all because of you. Everybody knows you're scared of him. Kissed his shoes and everything. What good is that kung fu jive if you can't even use it? Coward. Why don't you go someplace and meditate on that?
Yo.
Oh, man. That's what he told Bruce Leroy when he came into the pizza shop after Show Enough of this gang had left.
Oh, man. That's funny. Vibes, I agree. I agree.
Here's one from Leroy. I think this was when he was in Vanity. He says, from the clock's chime to the cock's crow is but an instant. I must go.
Yo, I need to know who wrote this. That is funny as hell, man. Yo, this is clever stuff, man.
Listen, here's one from Eddie Arcadian. This is when Bruce Leroy burst in to rescue Vanity.
Yeah.
He's saying, who's gonna stop me? And then Leroy bursts in disguised as a ninja. He says, who the hell is this guy? We didn't order takeout.
Yo. Yo. I forgot about that line. He came in there with that mask on. We didn't order takeout.
Listen, man. Here's Eddie again talking about his fighter. He says, you got no class, Rock. I know how to handle these showbiz types. You got to wine them, dine them, and you let them order a la carte.
Yo. Yeah. Oh, my God.
This is Leroy's master. Good confusion is a part of life, as are vengeance, fear, and love. All facets must be embraced, for then and only then will you break through the wall of mystery to the glow. Oh man, here's Daddy Green. Daddy Green says, Richie, when I first started my business, people said I was a black man with a pizza shop. Now there isn't a hungry soul in this town that doesn't know my slogan. Just direct your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza.
Daddy Green's Pizza. Oh, man.
Richie Green says, you let a lot of good years roll by without even testing the old equipment. Now, even you being a disgrace and all, I would be less of a man if I didn't warn you that there's an art to making love. You don't even have a paintbrush. You got to know the moves, baby. You know the moves.
You got to know the moves, baby. You got to know the moves.
And here's Johnny U. He says, enough. You want to fight? This is when they entered Bruce Leroy's dojo, so Shogun and them. He says, enough. You want to fight? You fight me, you big ugly smelly breath sucker. Or how about you, string bean Rick James looking fool? And then he took off running, remember?
Yo.
Oh, man.
Oh. Salute to the chat, man. I know we didn't do no roll call, man, but salute to the chat, man. Willie Lowe, salute, man. Knockdown, James Doon. Salute to everyone we missed, man. We cooking, man. Last Dragon, man. Last Dragon. Oh, man.
Oh, here's the some dumb goys flunkies. The guy tells Bruce Leroy when he came up there, and the dude says, ain't no masters here, dude. Ain't no slaves either. He said, the master doing his wisdom thing. You want wisdom? You buy fortune cookie.
You buy fortune cookie.
He says, take a hike, cool breeze. Look here, chump. The master don't see nobody, especially no jive coolies.
Oh.
He says, yeah, he don't see no one. Don't know how to get down, baby. You dig, bro? You too square. Then he says, let me say it to him so he can understand. You go now. Chop, chop. Holy ass out of this place. Am I saying it right, my man? Like, hasta la pasta, you know? Hasta la mogo. Sayonara. Catch you on the flip-flop. Sayonara. And that's when they closed the door on his ass.
Yo. They were walking a fine line. They called him a coolie because of his hair.
Yeah.
Now, how many of y'all knew that? I was about to ask the chat, what do y'all know about that term coolie? They know coolie. Man. Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. That was funny, man. This movie got everything, man. They should have re-released it, you know what I'm saying, before they did the DVD thing. They should have did an anniversary, man.
Here's one from Laura Charles. She says, I thought maybe it'd be a great idea if I got myself a bodyguard, you know, like someone to guard my body. What girl could do worse than to have her own real life kung fu master?
Jeez Louise. This. Sidebar. Who did you like better, Vanity or Apollonia?
Vanity.
Yeah.
Vanity. You know what, man? Vanity is probably one of the prettiest women that was in entertainment, bro. She had issues, but my goodness, she was put together. You remember her in Action Jackson with what's my man? Carl Weathers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Vanity was something, bro.
She sure was. Yeah, it's a shame she was sick. She was sick. You know, she forgot what she had, but she turned over a new leaf. She left everything. I think she left the movie industry. She left music. She got into the church.
Yeah, she became a born-again Christian and everything. But I didn't realize she did so many years of drugs and everything. It took a toll on her body, man.
Yeah.
I think she had a damaged liver or kidney. I think it was a liver that was damaged.
She had something that couldn't be replaced.
Right.
And it was all bad. You know, it was all bad. So when Vanity left, Apollonia took over. Vanity 6 turned to Apollonia 6. I'm looking at pictures of Apollonia right now. She looks great. She looks great. You know, she how old is she? She's 64.
Talking about Apollonia?
Apollonia, yeah. She's 64 years old. She's married. No, wait, I think she's divorced. But she looks well. She looks well, you know. Yeah, but shout out to Vanity. Shout out to Vanity. 85 was something special, man. So when you need a little peace of mind. Nah, I was a Mary Jane, girls. Hey, she's on the gram if y'all want to follow her. Apollonia Cotero. She's on the gram. If you care to follow her. Let's talk about that's the poster. That's the original poster?
That's actually a take on the original poster. That's not the original, but it's pretty darn good though.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn good.
That's real good, man.
Thought I would use that one as the backdrop for today's show as well. But yeah.
How about that? How many units did that soundtrack sell? Do you know?
Good question. Let's see if I could pull that up. Maybe it's out here.
Now that I think about it, that DeBarge track on there alone was insane. That was their debut track, I believe. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because before that, they did a song called I Like. I can't remember if that was El DeBarge by himself or just DeBarge the group. But that came out before The Last Dragon came out.
They said the song reached the Billboard number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Billboard R&B charts. They said that the film's Richard Perry produced title theme, The Last Dragon, was nominated for Worst Original Song at the '85 Golden Raspberry Awards.
Damn.
And as was Vanity's song Seventh Heaven.
Damn. Worst?
Well, you know, the Golden Raspberry Awards, that's just like a playoff of, like, you know, winning a Grammy or something. But for a song that's not going to ever be considered, you know, for a Grammy. But it was popular because the film was popular, you know.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, that, you know, I don't know. It doesn't tell me how much the album made.
That thing was flying off the shelves. We had a store up here where we got our albums from called Beach Street. It was on the corner of Valentine and Fordham Road. And all the DJs citywide, but especially in the Bronx, used to go there and get their vinyl albums. And that album was always sold out. Because you played that in '85, if you did like a party, you had to play the DeBarge track. Oh,
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, that was their best hit. To the beat and the rhythm of the night. And that whole family fit right in with that 80s look. Light-skinned Negroes with long hair. And that wasn't even Jerry curls. That's just their hair.
Yeah.
That's their hair. Now I'll tell you that I think there was a Beach Street in Jamaica Ave. It may have been, but Beach Street out here was on Fordham Road on Valentine, off of Valentine. It was between Valentine and the Concourse. There was a store called Beach Street. It was a downstairs to it too. All the DJs bought their vinyls from there, and that album was always sold out. Once they came in, people ran out and bought it up. Yeah, the glow. You got that glow? Let me see if I can look up the words to that song. Willie Hutch Glow lyrics. Here it is. All the words are here. Now the masters knows that you need to glow. You need to glow. You need to glow. The glow to grow. You need to glow. You need to glow. You glow to got to glow. If you have love to live, love. Oh, he went off in this movie. When you got that glow, he went off on that track. When I say who's the master, you say show enough. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I can't find it. I can't find how much that soundtrack made. I was trying to look it up.
Yeah, it's probably on here. I know it. I wonder if that 30 million was just on movies or just off of you know, what they grossed, soundtrack included. I'm curious about that. Then when they released it, when they released it on VHS a few years later, then they released it on DVD and on Blu-ray. I wonder how much. 30 million in total. I'm wondering. That's that's something I'm curious about that. Knockdown says this movie was sending a subliminal message to Black people, in my opinion, that we have the glow within us. We just have to unlock it. Oh, of course, there's a lot of gems in this film. A whole lot of gems, man. Whole lot of gems in this film. Whole lot of gems. And like I said, this movie was legitimately a family film. Legitimately a family film. You know, everybody at some point can relate, man. And if y'all got children, young adults, teenagers, 10-year-olds, have them sit in front of this. It's a feel-good film where, you know, the good guy goes through some trials and he overcomes. And he wins and he gets the girl at the end. You know what I mean? It's a feel-good film. And that fight scene at the end was so dope, man. You remember he said, you know how Bruce Lee says it's the art of fighting without fighting? He said, yeah. He said, my style is the art of fighting without knowing how to fight. But that fight scene was dope because at the end, he really clocked dude. And then he understood, oh, crap, I can really fight. And he went off in that. Man.
Yeah.
What was his name? Was it him? Oh, it was him.
Johnny Yu.
Johnny Yu, yeah. 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 Glenn Eaton, yeah. I don't know what he's up to. He's a real martial artist too. Wow. I didn't know that. And he's on Instagram. I'll give him a follow. Yeah. Oh, he's a boxing fan, Stormy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got pictures of George Foreman. Stallone as Rocky. Young Roberto Duran. Oh, okay. You got a picture of Bruce Lee with Jim Kelly right here. You got a picture of George Foreman with I'm having a brain fart because I'm looking right at him. Sonny Liston. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, he loves boxing. Look at that. Hey, man. Maybe I'll hit him up in the DM. You know what I'm saying? See if he wants to chit chat. They said I'm looking right here. They said something about they were going to remake the clones of Bruce Lee and talk to him about it. That's awesome. And wow, years ago though, him and Timok was at the Comic-Con a few years ago. I would love to have seen that. Wow. Yeah, Rashid. Yeah, that the little boy that you're talking about, that was Ernie Reyes Jr. Yes, Ernie Reyes Jr. He was in the Rundown with The Rock. He was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze. So he's been busy. Absolutely. I forgot Carl Anthony Payne was in that movie. Wow. Yeah, this is a must-see. This is a must-see.
You doing your pep talk tonight?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I am.
Yeah, let's get ready to wrap it up so you'll have some time to get your stuff. I know it's been a long day for you.
Yeah. Long, but productive. And once again, this is slam dunk, man. This was fun, man. This is fun.
We had a lot of people in here this evening. It's like over 30-something people were in for the most of the show. So I expect the numbers to be kind of high for tonight's show. I keep telling you, it's the culture thing. It's like when we get into something that the people find the familiarity with it just,
Yeah.
But that's why we encourage it.
Yeah, man. This is, you kick your feet up, man. It's good to reminisce. I bet you half the chat is going to watch this movie. And I'm telling you, if in the chat, if you don't want to admit it, if you've never seen it, watch it. It's on YouTube. Watch it. Watch it. It's a great film, man. And you might hear something in the movie that you be like, oh, I heard this before. I heard someone say it off the fly. That's where they get it from. Watch it with the kids. Watch it with the kids. This is a family movie. It's a family movie, man. This is great, man. I saw this in a movie like twice, and I've seen it several times later on. I think it's about that time I watch it again. Man, salute to you, Stormy. Another great one. And Last Dragon timeout. And I can't see what we got on the menu next week. Yes, sir.
Yeah, next week we're gonna have a real special one for you guys. The general made this suggestion, so I'm going to I think I put it out already what it's gonna be, but you guys gonna have to go to the page to check that out. But we're gonna have a good one for you next week. And just come on back. We'll keep dropping these gems for you with Nerds on Culture, man. But very happy to get this one in. I knew that some people would, enjoy reminiscing on this particular one. But that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
These premieres that I got going, a lot of them they're still releasing at the times that I release them. But if you're a member to the channel, they release a little bit early for the members. The members can see them right as soon as I upload it, but the premieres will go, you know, at designated times. So for those who are not members, you'll catch them when they release. It won't be a premiere alert, but they'll release at a certain time. It's either 8 a.m. or 8:15 a.m. every day. Then we got one coming around quarter to 8 p.m. on Wednesday evening, just before the Smoke City Mobcast. That's going to be my review of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos. And then that morning, Thursday morning, my breakdown video for those guys. If you're not a member, you'll get that. But members have the luxury of watching any of the stuff right away. So I decided to do that for my members, to give them something to look forward to exclusive. You know, I'm even taking some of the live streams that I'm doing, like my Friday night chop sessions. Some of those are going to be members only. Tuesday tussles, some of them, not all of them, but some of them. And I'll pick it at random, you know, because I want to be able to give to the people who really support me. So that's what that's all about. I can counter the ones that, you know, we had talked about, the ones that be peeping through the blinds and the bushes and all of that. It's the ultimate counter. You got nothing to peep on now. How about that?
Yeah, it is.
And that's up to you. That's because y'all don't want to hit the like buttons and stuff, but you out there watching. Well, you can't watch now. How about that? Peace to everyone out there. And I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Take your energy over to Pep Talk. Drew will be going live on that in about 10 minutes.
Yes, sir. Peace.